What's up, everyone? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is November the 6th. It's a Thursday today. Overall markets yesterday ended up bouncing nicely right off that previous day lows that I kind of talked about. So, overall NQ bouncing off our previous all-time highs, coming to market open. Key level that we had marked out yesterday was that previous day lows that we had marked out. Overall markets bounced nicely, as you can see, right back up and towards our previous day highs. Currently, we are inside of the range from its previous days, but now we'll kind of talk about the levels that we're looking for coming into today. Before we do that, what's up, everyone? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning. Let me grab some water here before we get started. Let me also pull up the Forex Factory here as well. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Let me pull up the Forex Factory here. As you can see, really not too many red folder news events. Yesterday, we had a decent amount, which was the ISM services. Barely affected the market, same as ADP non-farm enrollment. We did have President Trump speak later into the day, which was fairly key for the overall markets. As for the rest of the week, we don't have too much. As you can see, we have a Fed member speaking later today, which is at 3:30. And then tomorrow, we do have some consumer sentiment, the prelim consumer sentiment, which is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As for the earnings, we do have a decent amount of earnings that we had in the after hours yesterday. We'll kind of talk about some of the earnings that we have coming up here as well. But yesterday we had Robinhood, which was key. We had APP. We had a bunch of other ones here as well. ARM, Snapchat's up a decent amount. So a decent amount of earnings yesterday. We'll kind of talk about what to look for here on Robinhood and APP. And then we'll go on to some other names as well. Okay. Let's first start off on the ESNNQ. And then we'll go on to the other charts. Alrighty. Okay, so the first things first, as you can see here on the hourly chart for the ES, basically just came back down into our previous retest level. So we can have essentially this level marked out, which is our 6,800, or you can move it just a little bit over into, basically the 6,800 key pivot point. Basically, this is your previous resistance. Now, as you can see, essentially turning into support. So for the ES specifically coming to market open, we have a couple key levels. What we're really just going to mark out is our 6,800 previous all-time highs and essentially the area that we broke down from. So you can see yesterday, really nice bounce off of our previous day lows here. And then we ended up driving up in towards the area that we broke down from. And we had a little bit of rejection. So coming into today, the key level that we're going to have marked out is our 6,850. What we really want to see for some upside here in the overall market is to really confirm this inverse head and shoulders. So for the overall market, if you can maintain now above your 6,800, potentially we can see this nice continued push back towards the upside. But we're now going to need the hold of number one, that 6,800 that I talked about. And then now what we'd like to see really reclaim back above, hold above the area that we broke down from, which in this case is your 6,850 for any sort of continuation higher. So coming into today, the major levels that we have marked out is going to be our previous day highs, 6,850. And we also have our previous all-time highs. So really coming to market open, the key longs is going to be above your previous day highs for continuation. Also above this higher time frame key level here as well. Another possible scenario, if we came all the way back down, as you can see, we have multiple touches in the pre-market where buyers essentially defended this previous all-time highs. Currently, with us being right in the middle, what we can also mark out now is that 5-minute range or that 15-minute range and look for a potential trade up in towards our 6,852. So this is what I have for the ES coming to market open. As for shorts, right? Very much well could be looking for the rejection once again off this level. I don't like this as much. I'd like shorts personally underneath your previous all-time highs, right? If you go into the hourly chart, right, technically we are still making lower highs. So this very much well could be a short for this continuation lower. I personally would like it, honestly, underneath your previous all-time highs, the invalidation of this inverse head and shoulders for this continuation lower. So today, I'm more neutral in the overall markets, leaning a little bit more towards the upside just because we're bouncing off a very key higher time frame level. I do like shorts, as I mentioned, underneath your previous all-time highs. That's basically going to confirm more downside movement in the overall markets. If we go on to the SPY chart, as you can see right here, similar thing, right? Nice bounce off your previous all-time highs, holding nicely, and now we're continuing higher. Let's go into the 15-minute time frame. As you can see, price came all the way back up in towards a key level yesterday, which is essentially your area that we broke down from. Now coming into today, what we're going to have marked out, similar things, 680. And then we can also have marked out really your previous all-time high, 674. And then other levels that we have marked out is this 678. So coming to market open today here for SPY, right? Basically 678 is our Friday's highs from last week. But if we zoom in on the chart here, really what we like to see is a couple of things, right? Number one, if you can reclaim back above the 680, right? Not quite your previous day highs, but this is a key level. As you can see, we do have multiple touches, right? This general area is very key for SPY. If you really want to move it up into this level right here, you can also do that as well, where you have even more touches. But basically this general area, 680 is going to be key here for the SPY. You can see multiple touches, previous support, now essentially turning into resistance. So for SPY, the key level today, 680 along with this 678. First scenario, break above your 680 and a hold above your 680 for a potential move back towards the upside. Another scenario is the hold above your 678 for this continuation higher here as well. So these are the two scenarios here specifically for the ES and the SPY chart. If you want to see some more downside, as I mentioned, right, you could always look for scalps, pop and fades off these key levels. But if we can break back underneath your previous day lows, higher time frame key levels as well, that's when we're going to see some more downside here in the overall market. So previous all-time highs, 674.50. Alrighty, let's go into the NQ chart. So the NQ chart here really is the main chart. So ES, you can see the levels. Sometimes it perfectly touches. It looks a little bit weird because it's like getting above it, kind of rejecting. The main chart here has been the NQ for the past couple of weeks, as I mentioned. So the NQ is the main chart here. As you can see, yesterday we kind of talked about this. Previous resistance turned into support. Buyers stepped in the overnight session, pushed this back towards the upside. And now you can see for the NQ, this chart, in my opinion, is a lot more cleaner. You can see rejection off of our area that we broke down from, push all the way down towards your previous all-time highs, bounced off of your previous day lows, another rejection here now, and now we're holding this higher low. So as you can see here for the NQ, once again, what I would like to see now for some upside, similar thing. Potential inverse head and shoulders, maintain above your key levels here, and potentially continue back towards the upside. So for the NQ, key levels that we're going to have marked out today is your previous day highs, which is your Friday's lows from last week, the area that we broke down from, your previous day lows, and we're going to also mark out this level here as well, which is your 25,660. Coming to market open, I really kind of want to see this push back up and towards the upside. Right, either the break and hold for a push continue higher, or now it's going to be the break back above your previous day highs for continuation. Right, this as well could also be a play, but most likely with it already bouncing twice here in the pre-market, there's a better chance we just end up continuing higher coming to market open. So at least for today, longs, right, we like to see it above your previous day highs hold for continuation, right? Longs essentially above your 25,850. As for the NQ here on the higher time frames, as I mentioned, technically we are still in a downtrend here on the hourly chart, but as I mentioned, if we can invalidate this, then we can see some continuation higher. If we reject, then we can see this continuation lower, but there's a very good chance we probably end up reclaiming it coming to market open. So that's what we have for the NQ coming into today, just based off the higher time frames here as well. And you can see this daily chart, right? Nice buyers stepping in yesterday. If this daily candle can close strong, potentially we can see this reversal back up and towards our all-time highs. All right, so this is going to be our key line in the sand for the NQ coming to market open. As for the QQQ, similar thing here, right? Previous all-time highs, 612, nice hold. Now what we like to see here on the Qs, similar thing. All right, higher lows, potential inverse head and shoulders for this continued push back towards the upside. If you go into the 15-minute, fairly clear here, right? The Qs chart, very nice, right? Break above, a little bit of rejection off your previous day highs, coming back down, higher lows you like to see be made, and right, you want to see this now continuation back up and towards your previous day highs and above. So the key line in the sand for me today, as I mentioned, is going to be this 626. If we can drive up in towards the 626, hold above, potentially we can see continuation back up in towards your 630 and potentially your 631. If we reject, then we're going to see a trade right back down in towards its previous day's range here. So key level today, keep an eye out on your 626 here. You can just mark this out as your previous day highs where we have multiple touches here as well. So we'll kind of talk about this a little bit more in a second, but these are the levels that I have marked out coming into today. They're fairly clear, which is just your previous day highs on really the Qs. That's the main one. As SPY, you can see broke above it just a little bit. The main chart, as I mentioned, is going to be the QQQ coming into market open. Okay, now I'm going to go on to some tech charts here now as well. If you guys do have any tickers or anything else, you guys can drop in the chat. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's see real quick before I hop on. What do you say? Previous day's high and lows. It's same session, New York. Yeah, it's just your previous day. So New York session specifically from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. With the broker, there's plenty of brokers. Make sure it's regulated. In the US, there's plenty of different options. If you're in Canada or any other country, you can use IBKR, Moomoo. Those are good brokers as well. All right, let's go into NVIDIA. So this one kind of got beaten down yesterday compared to the overall markets. This one dropped as the market rose. So for NVIDIA, still the level that we have marked out is your previous all-time high. So as you can see here, coming into yesterday, nice kind of hold in that overnight session, push up in towards the higher time frame key point of interest, ended up rejecting, came all the way back down. So for NVIDIA coming to today, right, keep an eye out on these key levels, 202 along with their 195. If we come down, look for the potential bounce play. Right, of course, break back above, we can see continuation higher. For shorts, rejection off your 202. Or now you'd be looking for shorts underneath your previous all-time highs for a continuation towards the downside. So these are the two scenarios that we have on NVIDIA. Keep an eye out on your 195 today. We'll see, right? If the overall market drops, we'll see if NVIDIA wants to continue lower. But that's basically what we have coming to market open. As for AMD, I talked about this one being potential earnings reversal. So key levels that we have marked out was just your previous all-time highs. So as you can see here, previous all-time highs, which was your 244. If you go back onto the 15-minute time frame, you can see exactly previous all-time highs. Buyers stepped in right off this level and reverses back towards the upside. Right, earnings reversal ended up hitting your earnings high plus your previous day highs here as well. So for for AMD, let's just get rid of a couple things here. Let's make this look a little bit nicer. I'll just draw it out until I'll just draw it out here. So for AMD, you can see we have multiple touches now, which is just basically your 253. If you do want to see some more upside now, it's going to be above your previous day highs essentially. So I'm not too interested in trading AMD just because this was the trade right here. The earnings reversal was the trade. Now coming into today, it's going to be a little bit trickier because we just went from, right, taking out a bunch of liquidity, right? Earnings high, earnings low, took it out, and then end up taking it towards the upside. So AMD could see a push towards your all-time highs. It could see, right, a rejection and come right back down inside the range. It's not as clear, but key levels you're going to have marked out today. It's just going to be your 253. If you do want to see upside, as I mentioned, hold above your 253, potential continuation. I think it's going to be a little bit more clear if we can break above your previous day highs for this continuation higher. So keep an eye out on your previous day highs break on AMD for potential move up and towards your all-time highs. As for Tesla, so Tesla, nice bounce. So nice bounce, still technically inside of a range, but daily chart is still building up these higher lows. So once we do finally get that break above, I think we're going to have a pretty big explosive move here on Tesla. Key levels that we're going to have marked out, as you can see right here. So coming into today, today, key levels is just going to be your 466. So you can see multiple touches, tried holding it here on Monday, came up yesterday, a little bit of rejection. So coming into today, really the key levels that we're going to have marked out. Let me just get rid of this. The key levels that we're going to have marked out here on Tesla is going to be this 460 along with this 466. So number one scenario, let me kind of zoom in. Number one scenario here on Tesla, reclaim back above your 466 for a potential move back towards the upside. Another scenario here is the bounce off 460 for this potential, right, continuation higher here as well. All right, so keep an eye on this here for Tesla. I personally would like to see the break above your previous day highs and hold for a push higher. If we reject off this area, we can see some continuation lower, or if we get underneath your 460, we can see just a mean reversion back towards the downside. But as I mentioned for Tesla, key level here is the hourly chart. So if we can break above, there's a good chance, right? There's a good chance we can continue higher, right? Kind of in validation of this, reclaim above a key level, right? We can see a move higher here on Tesla. If we can break and hold above your 466, that's going to be key. Yeah, that's also good to mention as well. We do have a news event on Tesla, which is today. Tesla, they're going to announce essentially if Elon's going to get the pay package or not. So that's actually a key news event for Tesla coming into tonight. As for Apple, this one really not doing too much. It had earnings, now we're just kind of consolidating, so levels are still maintained from yesterday. Amazon, nice hold so far of your 248 key level that we have drawn out. 248, you can see buyers stepping in so far. Higher lows are still being built, so you like to see Amazon slowly push back higher and continue towards the upside. Google looks good here as well. Key level that we're going to have marked out, 286, potential hold for a continuation higher. As for Microsoft, key levels that we're going to have drawn out, right? This one showed a little bit of weakness with earnings. Key level is really just going to be this earnings low. If you want to see any sort of reclaim, if not, right, potential kind of rejection and fade towards the downside. And then similar thing. Sorry, similar thing here with Meta. We could see this earnings reversal. I do like this. If you're interested in Meta for kind of a potential bounce play, this one looks good in my opinion for a potential mean reversion back towards the upside. So you can keep an eye out on Meta. Key levels now is just going to be your 636. We're also going to mark out this 652 here as well. Potential mean reversion here is in play as long as you can maintain above that 636. If we reject, we're going to head right back down in towards that 628. Okay. So yeah, at least for this morning here, as I mentioned, really the only thing that's been moving nicely is actually the overall indices themselves, like SPY and Qs. Besides that, you have a couple other tech names that are kind of following along as well, but Qs has been really solid the past couple of weeks. That's really the main focus. As for any of the tech names, really for the tech side, I personally like Tesla if we can reclaim back above this 466. As for AMD, I'm going to be a little bit more hands off, similar with NVIDIA as well, a little bit more hands off on this one. But then for the rest of the tickers, Google looks good here as well, holding above your 286. And we'll go on to some other tickers here as well. But the best tickers, in my opinion, is really just the SPY and Qs themselves, right? Key level previous day highs, and then really Tesla and Google. All right, if you guys do have any tickers, I'll go over them for the next 5-10 minutes, and then I will get ready for market open. All right, what's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Let me go over Palantir. If you guys do have any tickers or any charts you'd like me to go over, you guys can drop them in the chat. If you guys are enjoying this so far, I appreciate if you guys drop a like. And of course, if you guys have enjoyed the daily watch list, that is in the description below here as well. Okay, let's go into Palantir. This one so far, if you're looking at this on the daily chart, is trying to defend our previous key point of interest. So as you can see here for Palantir, base, break, right, another retest coming up. And currently we're trying to retest this key pivot point here as well. So as you can see for here for Palantir, we really want to see the buyers try and step in for a potential reversal back towards the upside. If we look at Palantir, the chart, key levels that we have marked out is our 186. We're also going to have our previous day highs. If you want to see any potential reversal here on Palantir, reclaim for a push back higher, or it'd be the bounce off your 186 for a move back higher here as well. I'm really actually not as interested in trading Palantir just because overall market bouncing. This one had bad earnings a few days ago. It might take a little bit longer for a reversal to play out. So I'll be a little bit more hands off on Palantir, to be honest. But we'll keep an eye out on it for the next kind of coming week here for potential reversal. As for downside, either the pop and fade, which I don't think will offer that much nice of an opportunity. The best trade, in my opinion, on Palantir would be underneath your 186. If you can get underneath your 186, key level from Tuesday, higher time frame key level as well, I think we can see a bigger move towards the downside underneath your 186. Let's go into Hood. So Hood had some earnings yesterday. Didn't really do nothing. It's only up a 0.72% here. Overall higher time frame, still fairly bullish. As you can see for Hood though, key levels we're going to just mark out previous day highs, previous day lows. So for Hood, we can mark this out. These are primary key levels coming to market open. As I mentioned, previous day highs, previous day lows. If you want to see continuation above your 145 hold, very much well could come up, reject. That's probably the more likely scenario here on Hood, is take out the liquidity and come right back towards the downside. So I'll be a little bit more cautious here on Hood for the rejection off your 145. and for a push right back down in towards the middle of the range. As for a few other tickers, let's see. I talked about MU, nice retest on the higher time frames here as well. MU is very bullish. As you can see, higher lows, every higher low is being bought up. Nice retest and just right back towards all-time highs. So for MU, key levels that we have marked out, previous level of resistance, now turning into support off this 214. Now for MU, yeah, key levels, we also had your 228 that we reclaimed, kind of reclaimed right off the bat, and right back towards your all-time highs. So key levels, we're going to have drawn out, 238. As long as you can maintain above your 238, we can see continuation higher. Another possible scenario, break above your previous day highs, hold, continuation here as well. That's what we have for MU. This one looks good for continuation. Let's go on to a couple more. Let's go on APP since this one did have earnings as well. As for APP, you can see on the daily time frame key levels. As you can see, this one has a potential room back up and towards your all-time highs. I had levels drawn out from a long time ago, but this one filled the gap towards the downside. If you look at this on the hourly chart, we had this big drop, which was all the way back from earlier of October. Now that we're above it, now that we're above this level, which is your 650, we can expect a reversal here on APP back towards the upside. So for the overall markets, as you can see here, now the key level that we're going to have, 650, hold above your 650, potential move higher. As I mentioned, for earnings reversals, you just want to be a little bit more cautious. If they hold key levels, we can see a move higher, right? It's up 7%, so you're going to lean a little bit more towards the upside. If we break underneath, then potentially we can see a reversal here in the overall market. So based off the daily chart, I personally like this one a lot for continuation higher. If we can maintain above your 460, we can see this continue push back up and towards your all-time highs here for 740. So I'll keep an eye out on APP for a now potential move back up and towards this all-time highs key level. Palantir, yeah, my bad. So the Palantir, yeah, the earnings were good, but they had a negative reaction. So whenever that's the case, it usually just means you're going to get bought up. So in this case, as I mentioned, right, a little bit, it was pretty overextended, a little bit of guidance. That's what kind of dropped the overall markets. Now we're just pulling back into key level support. So eventually we're going to base and then, right, have that reversal. Alrighty. I'm going to quickly go over my game plan once more coming to market open, and I'm going to call it a day. For the Qs and SPY, so yeah, key levels coming to market open. Still, it's just going to be your previous day highs. Key level here as well. I'm more bullish coming to market open. I do expect the market's most likely to gravitate towards your previous day highs. So we'll keep an eye out on coming to market open. If you can break above and hold, we can see continuation higher. If we don't hit your previous day highs coming to market open, we're going to be looking for the hold probably above your previous day close for a push back towards the upside here as well. As I mentioned, we very much well could reject off this level, but I'm leaning more neutral, a little bit more towards the upside. But if we have a sharp rejection, then I'm going to be more neutral. I'd much rather see the markets reclaim and potentially push back up and towards your previous day close. Similar thing here with SPY, key level 680, along with your 678. If we can break above and hold, potential continuation. If we maintain above your 678, potential hold above this level, we can see push back towards the upside here as well. If we break underneath, let's say right off the bat, coming to market open, if we break underneath, then I'm going to be more neutral here on the overall market. So key level 678 along with their previous day highs. As for my main watches coming to today, as I mentioned, primarily the SPY and Qs themselves, just because those have been leading the market back towards the upside. And then I do like Tesla for a potential break above. Now it's going to be this 466. Tesla can break above your 466, hold above it. That's going to be key as I mentioned. That's going to be key as I mentioned. This was where we tried retesting earlier into the week. So if we can reclaim, potential move back towards upside. But besides that, that's about it. So yeah, really focus on the major indices. That's kind of what the theme has been for the past kind of couple of weeks. Tech name has been kind of lagging the overall markets. Hasn't had too many nice opportunities besides right the spine cues. So kind of focus more on the spine cues themselves. Yeah, that's about it. That's gonna be it for me today. Hopefully my voice does get better. I think I'm like 50% recovered. I just can't talk for too long before coughing, but hopefully it should be better by next week. I've been saying that for the past couple of weeks, but hopefully we'll get better. Who knows? But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. And if you guys haven't joined the watch list, that of course is in the description below. And then I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Peace.